My name is Claire Burns, and my informative speech is titled, It's Only an Extra Chromosome. Keep calm, it's only an extra chromosome. Read the shirt that my little sister Mary Margaret wore to her free dress day on homecoming week. A Down syndrome girl as homecoming queen seemed like such a far-fetched happening, but we couldn't help but enjoy all her excitement. As they announced the name at the Friday night football game, we were shocked, excited, and humbled all in that moment. This genetic condition has become so dear to my heart, as I have watched and lived alongside a little girl with Down syndrome. She has struggled, overcome obstacles, and ultimately rocks the extra chromosome. I hope after hearing this speech, you leave knowing more about the condition and diagnosis, the developmental impact, treatments, and the effect of the genetic condition on everyday life. Down syndrome was first recognized in 1959 as a chromosomal condition. Since then, advancements have been made to better diagnose the condition, improve their daily life, and enhance the developmental delays. A normal nucleus in a human body has 23 chromosomes. The National Down Syndrome Society defines Down syndrome in their online article titled About Down Syndrome as trisomy 21, which is a partial or full extra chromosome on the 21st chromosome. This occurs in 95% of children diagnosed with Down syndrome. The other two types are mosaicism and translocation. Mosaicism is a mixture of cells that contain 46 chromosomes and 47 chromosomes. The 47th chromosome is the one that has the extra chromosome on the 21st. Translocation is when the extra chromosome on the 21st attaches to another chromosome, which is usually the 14th chromosome. The maternal and pediatric textbook by Ricky explains that the extra 21st chromosome portrays certain characteristics in a child with Down syndrome. This is my little sister Mary Margaret. I'm going to show you those characteristics on her. They are a protruding tongue, small slant eyes, a small ear that is low set. On their hand, on the palm, it's going to have a crease that goes all the way across the center of the hand. And they have small hands with broad fingers. These are usually the first things you see on a child with Down syndrome. The maternal and pediatric nursing textbook by Ricky states that some risk factors for Down syndrome are maternal age over 35, lack of prenatal care, or abnormal prenatal screening. But the exact cause for Down syndrome remains unknown to this day. In the textbook, it goes on to say that Down syndrome can be detected between weeks 11 and 14 by ultrasound and blood tests, and weeks 16 to 18 with a triple quadruple blood test, and amniocentesis or chorionic villi sampling, which will detect chromosomal abnormalities. Now that we have an idea of what Down syndrome is, I'm going to explain what effect it has on a child developmentally. Children with Down syndrome still develop through milestones in life, just at a much slower rate. In the maternal and pediatric textbook by Ricky, it uses the example of saying that a child that develops with normal developmental milestones will usually walk around 12 months. A child with Down syndrome might not walk until 24 months. Knowing about the condition and how it affects the child helps to better understand the treatments that are used for the child. I know firsthand that early intervention is key to the child development and success of a child diagnosed with Down syndrome. In the maternal pediatric textbook by Ricky, it discusses how not only are early intervention programs beneficial for the child, but they also provide support and encouragement and information for the parents and families. Early intervention programs involve physical therapy, occupational, speech therapy, social workers, and special educators. In the Medical Surgical Nursing 13th edition book by Hinkle and Cheever, it discusses how physical therapy will help the child with gross motor skills like walking, crawling. Occupational therapy will help the child with fine motor skills as far as eating, grasping, and speech therapy will ultimately help the child talk. Special educators are going to play key roles in the child's life as they go to school. The article by Peter Costa in the Medical News Today explains how most schools' education programs will do an individualized education plan, or what they refer to as an IEP. This will lay out a plan for the child to be tailored to the child and involves the parents throughout the whole process. This will better help the child excel and reach its potential. I'm lastly going to discuss life after school with you and the resources available for the child and family. Children with Down syndrome need to follow certain health guidelines as they are more susceptible to certain health conditions. In the Medical News Today article by Peter Costa, he explains that half of all Down syndrome children have some kind of heart defect and compromised immune system, making it very important for regular doctor visits. The National Center for Learning Disabilities article on the Individuals Disability Education Act of 1990 explains how educational services must be provided to the child until the age of 21. Once they reach 21, it is important for these children to still be involved in daily activities and life events. There are many resources available to parents with children with disabilities and the disabled children. The Association for Retarded Citizens, referred to as the ARC, is based all over the United States. This is a nonprofit foundation built to provide services and programs for disabled people. Another event that is all over the United States that I've participated in personally is the Buddy Walk. It occurs in October because October is Down Syndrome Awareness Month. And they do a walk for awareness all over the United States. It's a fun time for parents to meet other parents with Down syndrome kids and just enjoy these special children. It's been so fun explaining Down syndrome to you. It's been such a huge part of my life, and I love sharing my knowledge on the syndrome. I've explained to you what Down syndrome ultimately is, how it affects a child, and how the child is helped through life with the condition. I hope you can now celebrate with us by wearing the blue and yellow ribbon during the month of October to bring awareness to this condition around us.